Putting the systems together. The autonomic nervous system is the body's physical expression of energy. The nadis, gunas, and vayus are emotional expressions of the same energetic body. All four systems are interconnected and reference the same thing: how we move into a place of balance and harmony, and what happens when our energy is blocked, out of alignment, or in dysfunction. Each system shows us a slightly different map of the physical and emotional body and what happens when we put too much energy into one area or create a deficit in another. And while the practices in this book have a direct and profound effect on restoring, rejuvenating, and balancing our physical and energetic bodies, they work far better when we also address the causes of other imbalances in our lives. I hope the breath can bring you to a deeper state of awareness and be a powerful tool to create positive change in your life. The union of the Eastern and Western systems of energy is reflected in the effects of the breathing practice. Just as the breath has a direct correlation to the autonomic nervous system, it has the same connection to the nadis and gunas. Although the systems use different approaches to map out behaviors of balance and dysfunction, when we come from an energetic and breath approach, we see that they are stimulated in the same way. The inhalation increases energy while the exhalation decreases energy, and balancing the inhalation and exhalation balances energy. When we have a surplus or deficit, we look to the opposite side of the scale to see where we can find balance, either by adding or taking away. The autonomic nervous system, when understood through the polyvagal theory, has three branches or divisions. The sympathetic nervous system is related to increasing energy and linked to inhalation. The dorsal vagal complex of the parasympathetic nervous system is connected to decreasing energy and is linked to exhalation. The ventral vagal complex of the parasympathetic nervous system is related to balance and is associated with a balance between the inhalation and the exhalation and the breath retention. The three central nadis follow the same division of energetic flow. Pingala is the dynamic channel. It links to many of the qualities of the sympathetic nervous system and is excited through inhalation. Ida is the calming, more restorative channel. It is linked to the dorsal vagal complex and is stimulated by the exhalation and retention after the exhalation. Sushumna represents balance and equanimity and correlates to the ventral vagal complex. Just like the ventral branch, balancing the breath and breath retention guides us deeper into this state. When we view the characteristics of the gunas, again, we see similar, though slightly different, expressions of energy. Sattva represents upward energy in the relationship to spiritual growth. Even though the energy flows upward, its mode of to be is in relation to balance, and the characteristics of sattva are balance and harmony. Sattva energetically aligns with the harmonious state of the Sushumna Nadi and the ventral vagal complex. The expanding energy of Rajas increases towards a state of exhaustion. It is stimulated by the inhalation, sharing many of the same energetic qualities as the Pingala Nadi and the sympathetic nervous system. Tamas closely mirrors the dorsal vagal complex and shares the more passive qualities with the Ida Nadi, also following the exhalation. The pranavayus respond to the breath and the movement of energy slightly differently from the previous three systems, though they share many similarities. Pranavayu is most similar to the ventral vagal complex and the energy systems that orientate around balance, since pranavayu is the movement from out to in and in to out. It is the inhalation and the exhalation. Apanavayu moves with the downward flow of energy and the exhalation. We see how it links to the dorsal vagal complex, the tamas guna, and the ida nadi. Udanavayu is the upward flow of energy and flows with the inhalation. Vyanavayu also follows the inhalation. Vyana expands from the center and moves outward and shares the energetic movement with Rajas. Samanavayu gathers the energy back to the center and moves with the exhale in the same way that tamas moves to gather and contract. A former anatomy professor of mine explained that the difference between anatomy and physiology is like knowing how to read a map and knowing how to use one. We need to know how to do both. We need to know how to read the map to navigate towards our destination. We also need to understand where we are going, why we want to get there, and the vehicles available to take us. In other words, if we know the map, but not its real-world application, the map is useless. With our baseline knowledge of the physiology of breathing and the systems of balance, we can start to explore the different breathing techniques that will carry us to our goals of improved health, cognitive function, and emotional well-being.